Colorado has sunshine laws on the books, and they allow any citizen to request any government record. As long as it was government funded, we have a right to see them.
The issues of accountability, transparency are really important.
The need is the same as it's always been. It's extremely important that we have access to the information, that government isn't hiding it from us.
It's creating accountability for organizations to make sure we get the records so we can do the important investigations.
Freedom of information is the essential framework of what allows a self-governing democracy to exist. It's a lifeblood.
My son is Jamie, and he attends a public charter school in District 11. It's located downtown in Colorado Springs, and it's a great fit for him. It's a wonderful school. It's located 2.5 miles in a straight line away from the Martin Drake power plant. There's over 200 megawatts of power that come out of this plant. The plume is really held over the city, and yes, it's very noticeable. The plume is among the worst where my child's school is.
We want the City Council to set a date to decommission the Martin Drake power plant because it is poisoning our community.
A lot of people have been spending a lot of time trying to get transparency and information about this plant in the public, but have been largely unsuccessful. Our Colorado Springs Utilities is a municipal owned. That means the taxpayers, the residents of this city actually own the facilities. I filed a PORA request, an open records request, asking for any air quality studies that utilities may have done. And in fact, I found in response that yes, they had done their own air quality modeling study, but no, they were not going to give it to me.
We have a mom who is very concerned about air quality around her son's school and trying to get records about that. And so that's the type of thing that we generally believe people are entitled to know.
The utilities cited that this information was attorney-client privilege. Well, that just seemed nonsense to me. I'm a lawyer. I checked with some experts, including at the Freedom of Information Coalition, and they all confirmed with me that technical air quality information should not fall under an attorney-client privilege.
We tried to do whatever we could to support her in that effort, including making a request for the records ourselves, getting also denied.
My only recourse was to file a petition in court.
Leslie filed a lawsuit. She did not prevail in that lawsuit, so she appealed. And what happened, strangely, is that during her appeal, the very document that she was seeking was sent to her accidentally.
So there it was, right in front of me. This report was as bad as I thought. The report showed very clearly in presentation format that there were violations from the Martin Drake power plant. It was very damning.
She did what she was supposed to do, is tell the court that she'd received this accidentally. They asked her not to make any copies of it, to return it immediately. She did that. They didn't tell her she couldn't talk about it.
I decided to talk to the reporter at the Colorado Springs Gazette who covers utilities and city government matters. It turned out to be on the front page of the Gazette the very next day. The city decided that they weren't happy with this. They didn't want the report being talked about, and so they just went into very aggressive mode. They filed immediate motion asking for the court to find contempt by me and asking that I should be punished.
It did seem to me that to go after her and threaten jail time was extreme.
A local mom tells 11 News that the city of Colorado Springs has spent about $100,000 to silence her concerns about pollution from a power plant. And now,
Leslie's case is very emblematic of what we try to do at the Colorado Freedom of Information Coalition, which is to support people who are trying to understand how their governments are working, perhaps how they're not working.
When I was going through all this, I realized that you really are out there by yourself, and you're very grateful for the people who are willing to be associated with you, who are willing to maybe stick their neck out a little bit. Just having the knowledge that the Freedom of Information Coalition, that I could call and just run things by, just as even just a support, a sounding board, it was very comforting to me to know that they were there.
The Colorado Freedom of Information Coalition, they have been instrumental in providing a lot of expertise to try to analyze the Colorado Open Records Act, our efforts to modernize it, to make it easier for people to access electronic public information. They've been incredibly helpful.
Definitely in days gone by, organizations would try to bury you with paperwork, charge you excessive amounts of money for copies where they could provide it electronically to us. I know that this is a fight that the Colorado Freedom of Information Coalition has worked on, has won, and it's made a difference.
We don't want to be out there by ourselves right now. It's very difficult for anybody to keep track of what records you can really get. The coalition has great expertise in this area. They also play a very important role in helping ordinary citizens who, if we think we have trouble getting information, imagine what other people who don't have the expertise that we do and how to exactly request a document or who to exactly go to. They're just a great compass.
The Freedom of Information Coalition is a critical organization, frankly, for helping us in the legislative branch.
It empowers Coloradans in all walks of life to hold their public servants at every level of government truly and absolutely accountable.
The coalition does its work quietly and effectively.
I like to call it a quiet giant.
It's just been an invaluable support for me to know that I can pick up the phone and call and just even have a voice at the other end to guide me, support me.
To the extent that they help this entire state stay open and the records stay open, I can't thank them enough.